Nobody hits a better front lat spread pose than Dorian Yates, right? But is that entirely true though? Inspired by Vishal Muscle's YouTube channel. I encourage you to check him out, guys, find the link in the description. I decided to put this claim to the test, throwing at Dorian 10 of the best other front lat spread posers. Make sure you stick till the end, because by the time this video ends, I'm going to reveal to you guys who I believe that objectively has a better front lat spread pose than Dorian Yates. In number 10 we have Haney. Before Dorian, he was the all-time master of the front lat spread, but in spite of the Shadow's less impressive V-taper, he out-muscles Haney too much, especially in the lat region. It's true, Lee retired at only 32, right before the Mass Monsters era kicked in, so he would have gotten much bigger for sure, but we're not here to speculate anything. We judge what we have, and we have Dorian as the winner here. Up next comes Kevin Levrone, who matches Dorian's width and destroys him when it comes to the guns, but in this pose, having big arms may be a disadvantage actually. They tend to overshadow the lats, pun intended, where Dorian is clearly winning here. Kevin's torn pec is also a glaring weakness that doesn't help his case. Dorian Yates wins. Nasser Sonbaty pushes Dorian even more than the previous guys, but again, his bigger arms tend to cover the lats, which further pushes the idea that having smaller arms can be an advantage in this pose. Furthermore, as good as Nasser would look here, he still can't match Dorian in the lat department, so even though it's close, Dorian still wins. Big Ramy comes next, and from a shape perspective, he might even beat Dorian, but he's just too smooth in comparison. Ultimately, this is probably about genetics and thin skin and things of that nature, where Big Ramy can't do anything about, regardless of how lean he gets. However, a leaner version of Big Ramy would push Dorian Yates more than anyone up until this point in this video. Cutler is next, the widest guy in this entire list, because in spite of his blocky waist, he still has the better taper, as we can see here. His midsection looks incredible. I always appreciate ab details in this pose, but again, he fails to match Dorian's lats. It isn't even close, so Dorian has to win again. Now here's a guy who seems to be matching Dorian in the lat department, Greene. Kai might also have the better taper than Dorian, but just like in Ramy's case, he gets very exposed against the shadow when it comes to conditioning. He simply looks off-season next to Dorian, so he can't hope to win this challenge. 2002 Night of Champions Markus Ruhl. Is he the guy I promised you in the beginning that would beat Dorian in this pose? Well, he might beat Dorian in a lot of aspects in this pose, and not only in this pose, but as for what the front lat spread is supposed to be about, mostly about the lats and the taper, Markus fails. He definitely wins the most muscular though. Ronnie the King Coleman, and if there's anyone who can beat Dorian in this pose, it's him, right? Well, that's probably true. However, even though he's got the tools, Ronnie fails to use them properly, completely missing the execution. He also wouldn't beat Dorian's lats, but he beats him in every other aspect here, having great lats himself. Here in 2003 he completely dominates Dorian with size, being even closer in the lat department, but again, like always, he fails to hit the pose properly. Dorian also looks much harder, which helps his case too. Ronnie Coleman is not the one I was telling you in the beginning that would objectively beat Dorian in this pose, but who's left? Before we continue though, if you like this new video format, make sure you leave a like so I would know you want more. So who's left now? Bumstead. Don't worry guys, it's not him either, but Let's face it, if Chris would ever switch to the open, considering his framing qualities, he could be the biggest threat to Dorian Yates in this pose. However, there is a guy in the open division nowadays presenting similar lines, and I might get some hate from some of you guys, but the guy I believe that objectively looks better than Dorian Yates in the front lat spread is Brandon Curry. Just hear me out, even though the footage might speak for itself. Brandon has the much better taper. He's got those cross striations through the chest like Ronnie. Dorian still wins the lats, but Brandon is close, and also by the nature of his shape and structure, his incredible arms are not covering his lats. Brandon's front lat spread is a thing of beauty. His front lat spread is more complete than Dorian's, and when he gets as dry as he got at the 2019 Arnold Classic, he could go against anyone in the upper body. Now, Dorian would still probably win this on stage because of the freak factor, the size, and the unmatched lats and conditioning, but objectively speaking, Brandon has a better overall front lat spread than him, at least in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on this video, like, share and subscribe. Again, check Vishal Muscle's channel, from where I got the inspiration for this. Let's show him some support. Thank you guys and see you next time.